Hi everyone, we are excited to have you here in today's fun-filled learning session at YOLO. Here is a quick look at how you can submit your work after the class. As a first step, go to live.yolo.com. You can use any browser to access this site. On this page, you will see a list of all our classes. Scroll down and you can see the Submit Your Work button. And then you will see a list of the classes that you've last attended, which could, for example, show the dance or craft or science experiment classes you've attended recently. Next, it will show you the list of children whose names are registered in this mobile number. Choose your name from this list to submit your work. For instance, if you are Satvik Kumar, choose that name. And then choose the class for which you would like to make your submission. For example, if you've attended the New Year's Masquerade Party session and you'd like to make the submission for this class, click on the Submit Your Work button below that. And then upload the photo you've taken. Choose the image from your phone and click Submit. You can scroll down and view all your past submissions and see how many of your friends or peers have liked your work. You can also see others' work and like their work to inspire your friends. If you want to showcase your work on social media, that too is very simple. Click on Share, copy the link and post it on Instagram or Facebook or any other platform of your choice. Just a tiny reminder, your submission looks a lot better if you could click a photo in the landscape mode rather than the portrait mode. Do not forget to tag us at YOLO_app. I'm eagerly looking forward to all your submissions right after this class.
Hi kids, how are you guys doing? I hope you had a look at this submission video and it made sense to you on how to go ahead and make the submissions from now onwards, and you know how the process works and you are going ahead and making all of your submissions, whether it is to do with my class or it is to do with any other class. All right, so the first thing that I want to discuss and announce to you is the certificate program that we have, and I am so glad to tell you about the steps of the certificate program and how you can get a certificate. So certificate program is very simple. Basically, we're going to go ahead and start giving you certificates for courses now, and the process of getting the certificate is extremely simple. So the first thing of the process is that you have to go ahead and attend all of the classes of a course. For example, right now you're going ahead and doing a festive drawing course, and when it comes to the festive drawing course, I want you to just go ahead and attend all of the 4 classes of the course. So that is step number 1. Step number 2 is basically going ahead and making all of the submissions. If you go ahead and make submissions for each of the classes, then you will go ahead and by the end of it get a whole certificate. So if you're doing this festive drawing class, then very simple, attend all of the 4 classes in this festive drawing class, make all of the submissions for the festive drawing class, and there you go, you have a beautiful certificate telling you that you've gone ahead and attended something like this, and you've gone ahead and got a certificate for learning such a kind of artwork. Now, whether it is art or any other course that you're going ahead and taking on, the submission and the certificate process will be the same. So I hope you go ahead and make your submissions. So the second thing that is very important and really exciting is that if you get picked as part of the top 10 in terms of your submission, then I will be going ahead and giving you personalized feedback. Now, what do I mean by personalized feedback? Personalized feedback, I mean, for example, let's say today we've gone ahead and done the festive drawing of Holi, and with that drawing you've gone ahead and made a few errors here and there, or for example, maybe you have done an extremely splendid job and I can advise you to go ahead and move forward with something. That's the kind of feedback that I'm going to be working and giving you, each and every one of you, whoever gets selected as part of that top 10. So those 10 kids are going to get the chance from me to go ahead and get a little bit of feedback. So definitely make sure to go ahead and get selected as part of that top 10, and for that obviously you have to go ahead and make your submissions. Anyway, so now let's go ahead and discuss about today's class and what the point of this course is. So this course is basically the festive drawing course, which I think you've all been already attending. And what is the point of this course? So the point of this basic course is for you to go ahead and understand and learn illustrations about festivals. So we do attend a lot of festivals, whether you're Hindu, whether you're Christian, whether you're Muslim, whether, whichever religion we belong to, festivals are a part of our lives, right? So now, since it is part of our lives, we love, being a part of it, celebrating it, and hence illustrating it will be such a wonderful task to do. You learn so much by actually visually looking at something and then depicting it on paper, is what the concept of this course is. So that is the purpose of the course, just to depict it. So let's start with today's class. In today's class, our festival is going to go ahead and be Pongal. We're going to be doing Pongal. So what is Pongal and what is the concept of Pongal? If anybody knows, think about it and, tell me. Okay, yes. Pongal is the harvest festival wherein we go ahead and harvest things. And obviously, in different regions of the country, it's celebrated in different ways. I've just gone ahead and taken Pongal because we are all, mostly from South India. So for us, Pongal is something that we all very, very relate to. So for today's drawing, mainly what we're going to be doing is we're going to firstly going ahead and do our drawing itself. Once we're done with the drawing, I want you to go ahead and as part of your homework, do your outlining and your coloring, and then it'll be your submission. If you are a little confused on how to go ahead and do your outlining and coloring, don't worry about it. I will guide you right at the end before we go ahead and end the class. So don't worry about that at all. So let's get started with today's class and the drawing and the materials, and then we'll move on and so forth. All right, let's get started with the materials for this class. The first material that you will need for this class is obviously going to be a sheet of paper. Now, for the sheet of paper, you can go ahead and use a 150 GSM or a 100 GSM sheet of paper, whatever you have with you at home. If you have a drawing book with you at home, that is also great. That will work perfectly well. If you do not have a drawing book or a sketchbook like I do, you can go ahead and use any A4 size sheet of paper that you have, or any unrolled sheet of paper that you might have lying around at home. Once you have that, the next thing that you will need is a pencil. So basically tend to have just a nice pencil that will draw super dark. You do not want a very, very light pencil, because then that won't show up on paper, and then if that doesn't show up on paper, we won't really be able to look at it and then outline it and color it. So just have a nice dark pencil, sharpen it if you need to. The third thing that we need is a sketch pen. Now for the sketch pen, I've just gone ahead and picked up a black marker, and that's what I am going to be using for today's class. But in terms of what sketch pen you want to go ahead and use, that is completely up to you. There is no hard and fast rule that you have to just go ahead and do a black outline. If you want to go ahead and do a colored outline with many, many colors, that is also completely okay. I'm going to leave that up to you and give you the freedom in terms of that. The last thing that we need for today's class is going to be a bunch of sketch colors. Sorry, I mean you'll need a bunch of colors. Now here with me, I have a bunch of colors. You can see I have a bunch of color pencils. So these are all the Mepid color pencils that I have right here. Now you can go ahead and use any colors of your choice. Now, for example, if you like doing crayons, like using crayons, if you like using soft pastels, oil pastels, color pencils like I am, you want to just use sketch pens, or you want to probably go ahead and do painting, that is also completely up to you, because the coloring portion and the filling of color portion is your choice and your option to move ahead with. So that is completely up to you. No hard and fast rule when it comes to this. Pick the colors of your choice. So now let's go ahead and get started with our drawing of today. So what we are going to be basically going ahead and doing. So let me give you a little bit of a description of what we're going to be drawing today. Now in Chankaranti or Pongal, a lot of us know that we have the harvest season wherein we go ahead and we have a matka. It's normally filled up. with the foam on top, and then we have a decorated pot, and then we have the sugarcane sticks, right? So that is exactly what our depiction is going to be of today's drawing. So let's go ahead and first start with the pot itself. That's what we're going to be going ahead and starting with. So right at the center of the page, I want you to go ahead and draw a double line curve like this. So you can see very, very simple, just two lines with a curve. That's going to be your step number one. Once you're done with this, we're going to go ahead and draw the shape of the pot itself. So on either side, I want you to go ahead and do two simple curves. So you can see on either side, two simple curves, nothing complicated. Once you're done with this, we can go ahead and do the next part of it, which is basically adding the shape of the pot. Now for the shape of the pot, just have a close look at it, because a lot of us do end up making mistakes when it comes to the shape of the pot. So just make sure first you have those two lines, and then all you have to do is do a curve. I'm going to wait here for a second, just in case you've gone ahead and made a mistake, or you feel like you're having a hard time going ahead and doing it. I'm just going to wait for a second, so that if you have made any mistakes, erase it and correct it out before we move on. I'm just going to play that once again, just in case some of you have not got the shape right. So have a look here if you haven't got the technique. Perfect. So there we go. We have our technique done. All right. So I think everybody's is looking very, very nice. Good job, everyone. Well done. Okay. Very done. Let's move on. The next thing is going to be adding the foam part of it that we have right here. Now you can go ahead and do this in two ways. So here you can see I've gone ahead and basically done a wiggly shape. That's basically the shape that I have followed on top. If you do not want to go ahead and do a wiggly shape, or for example, you find the wiggly shape to do very, very hard, then you can definitely go ahead and do like a cloud shape. So normally how you draw a cloud, just go ahead and do that shape. That is also specifically okay or completely all right. For the next step, what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and decorate this pot out. Now, in terms of the decoration, you can go ahead and do it however you like. What I am doing right now is I'm going ahead and drawing like a bunch of curves, and I'm in between each of these curves, I'm going to basically go ahead and draw a design. So here the design is completely up to you. So you can just see how I'm doing it. I'm going to pause here for a second so that you can see. So the concept that I'm going to be following is I'm going to be doing these kind of curves, and then I'm going to be filling it in with designs. So first thing what you can do is you can go ahead and draw all of your curves and then fill in with designs, or like me, you can do curve and design, curve design, curve design. I'm completely up to you. Let me play this whole section so that you have an idea of what I'm going ahead and doing, and then I'm going to just wait for you to go ahead and draw it out. So here you can see I'm filling in with triangles. Obviously, I want you to get very creative in terms of what designs you're doing. So you don't have to specifically follow the designs I'm following. You can go ahead and follow any design that you like. So have a look at how I am doing it right now. Then I'm going to wait for a second while you go ahead and finish up your own design. So you can see the top design that I have done. I'm just repeating that, but in terms of a double line here. And that's it. That's my design done. That's the design that I want to go ahead and draw. So I'm just going to wait here for a second, like I mentioned, and I'm going to wait for you to go ahead and fill in your designs. Here you can see my design is very, very broad. That is in between each of the curves that I have right here. I have left a lot of space. So, my design is very big of sorts. But if you feel like, no, you want to go ahead and make your design a little smaller and make it very minute and detailed, you can definitely go ahead and do so. I know a lot of you have probably attended a lot of the Rangoli workshops or Rangoli classes and things like that. So you know how to doodle and do a lot of designs, right? So you can probably go ahead and use any of those and fill it up right now. So waiting for you guys to just finish this up. Okay, good job. Everybody's is looking very, very nice and interesting. Lovely. Good job, everybody. Everybody's doing such a wonderful job. Okay, So now, since everybody's done a wonderful job, we can move on to the next part of the drawing. For the next part of the drawing, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be drawing the sugar cane on the either side. So have a look at how I basically go ahead and start with the same. So first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to be basically repeating this shape that I have drawn here multiple times. So basically the shape is just two lines and curves on top and bottom to join them out. So this is going to be one portion of our sugar cane, and I'm going to repeat this a couple of times to draw a couple of portions of sugar cane. So just have a look at how I'm doing this. So that's my second, and that's my third. So you can see how I've gone ahead and done this. So that is the basic steps. I'm just going to replay that once again, just in case you've missed that. So just see, double line I'm going to go ahead and do, and have a curve in the top and the bottom, and same thing I'm going to follow 3 times. Excellent. Once you're done with this, what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and put a dot. Now this dot is very, very important, because now when it comes to sugarcane, obviously it is a plant, so it has leaves on top. So we're going to go ahead and add in those leaves. Now if you have ever drawn a coconut tree, it's very similar to going ahead and drawing a coconut tree. If you haven't, that's completely okay. You will learn how to do something like that today. It's not going to be exactly like a coconut tree, but a very similar concept. So probably if you learn this tomorrow, learning a coconut tree will, for you will be very easy. So after drawing this point, what we're going to do is, starting from that point, we're going to go out and in, and basically draw curves. And that's going to be the concept of drawing our leaves. And we're going to go it all around. So 360 degrees, we're going to do this. So you can see I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So you can see, very, very simple. I've gone ahead and done this. How easy is that? So you saw from where I started my dot, and from the dot I kept coming out and in, out and in, out and in. That is the whole concept that we were following. So what we can do is, I'm just going to play that out once again. So you can see I have my dot right there, kept a little bit of distance, put my dot in, and then added in my leaves. So take your time while doing this. If you have made a mistake, take your eraser, correct it out, no problem. Take your time while doing this. You don't have to rush into it. Try to be as neat and easy as you can with this. Perfect. So now the next step is basically going to go ahead and be to attach that part. So right here you can see I went ahead and completed that gap right there by drawing two double lines. So that's going to be your one sugarcane plant done on one side. If you are done with this sugarcane plant, then we can go ahead and do the next part of your sugarcane plant, which is going to be on this side. Now the process and technique of doing the sugar cane plant is exactly the same as the previous one. There's no differences in it. So we're going to go ahead and do the same three lines at the bottom, and then the dot on top and the leaves coming out. So I'm just going to show you how, just in case you've missed it, you can go ahead and do it along with me. So you can see the box, again one more box, and that's my third one. Going ahead and adding in my dot, and then adding in the leaves. And again, you can see I'm taking my time one by one. Slowly, I'm adding in my leaves, because I do not want to rush into it. I do not want to do it too fast. I want to take my time and do it. So you can see, very, very simple. And again, I'm going to attach the two together. So there we have our sugar cane plants on either side, and we have the beautiful pot right at the center. So now I'm just going to wait for a second just in case someone has not done something or needs to catch up. They can go ahead and catch up right now. If somewhere you have left something, and you've not finished it, or you need to go ahead and erase something and correct it out, please go ahead and do it immediately before we move on to doing the decorations on top. So the next step mainly is going to be doing the decorations on top. Like I've told you in all of our festival drawings, that we always tend to have some form of festivities, so some form of garlands or lights or something like that, right? So the sky always will have something in it. So in today's drawing, it's just going to be a simple, beautiful garland that we are drawing. So let's go ahead and draw that. So for that, what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to start from the top and do a curve coming out. Now, if you feel like it is overlapping the tree for you, then you can leave gaps like I have between the trees. Leaves, but if you feel like no, it's a little too hard, you can go ahead over it. That is not a problem at all. It's completely all right. Once you're done with this, we'll make a double line for the same. Perfect. Once you're done with the double line, now you can go ahead and pick any design that you like and add like a hanging coming out of it. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and draw like simple curves like this on either side. And then I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit more of decoration. So what I'm going to do is out of each of those center points, I'm going to draw a lines coming out, and then I'm going to draw circles coming out of it. As you can see how beautiful that is looking. It's looking like a beautiful garland. Perfect. So there you go. We have a perfect, beautiful looking garland. So once you are gone ahead and done with this, I felt like the page looked a little empty and it needed a little bit more of another garland. So I went ahead and added another garland on top. This time I just went ahead and did two curves. Again, I made like triangles for this time, like a flag sort of a design this time. And that's what I had as my design number. Finally, before I moved ahead and finished up with my outlining and coloring, I went ahead and added in a few designs. So that's exactly what I was adding in on the side right there. I went ahead and added in a few designs. So the design you can pick again up to you. It could be like a Rangoli design that you want to do. It could be a symbol. It could be anything. If you want to draw a person, you want to draw, add color, anything. It's up to you. The design I basically added was this, wherein I did two double circles, then I did a dot in the center, and I did the curve flower sort of pattern, petal sort of pattern that we normally do. And this I went ahead and added in a couple of spots wherever I felt like, okay, the page looks empty over here. And, I could probably go ahead and add, something there. I've gone ahead and done so. So you can see I've gone ahead and done three, and I'm going to go ahead and do one more. Now, at this point of time, I feel like my page is looking full and complete, and I'm very happy with how it's looking. So basically, I'm going to stop with my drawing right here. So this is our completed drawing. Now, before we move on to me explaining the rest of it, just have a look at this. Try to analyze anywhere that you have made mistakes or you have not completed or completed and you have to go ahead and do something. Just go ahead and have a look. Okay, I think everybody's drawing is looking very beautiful. So since everybody's drawing is looking very beautiful and very nice, let's move on to the next part of it, which is basically me explaining to you how to go ahead and doing the outlining and the coloring. Now, like I mentioned earlier, that's going to be your homework portion of it, but just a simple explanation for you as to how to go ahead and do it is what I'm going to show you. So for my picture, what I went ahead and did was I went ahead and took a black sketch pen and I went ahead and outlined the whole thing using black. So this is how my picture looked once it was completely outlined with black. If you feel like no, you want to go ahead and take a different colors. For example, for the sugar cane, you want to do brown for the branch and you want to do green for the leaves. That's completely all right and up to you. You can go ahead and do that. So doing just that much can make a big difference and make it look pretty and nice. So you can go ahead and do that, completely up to you. So that is my outlining done. Once I finished my outlining, I went ahead and started coloring my picture. Now for my picture, obviously, like I told you earlier, I'm going ahead and using color pencils. But if you feel like no, you want to go ahead and use some other colors and you want to go ahead and do sketch pens, you want to use crayons, you want to do whatever you want to go ahead and use, you can go ahead and use. Now up to the color scheme also, let me explain what I have done and then you can go ahead and decide what you want to do. For the background, I just felt like going with a beautiful green color. For my designs, I left them completely white because I felt like the green versus the white looked very beautiful. For the pot, I did a little bit of brown, orange, red, yellow, green. Again, here you can use colors that you like. For the sugar cane, I did brown and green. For the flags, I did blue and red. And for the garland on top, I did orange and yellow. Now here, the coloring portion, like I told you earlier, is up to you. You can do as many or as little colors as you like. You can use whichever medium you want. So I'm going to wait here for a second just in case, again, if someone's missed out on their drawing or felt like, no, I haven't completed what I needed to, and I just need to have a look at it, go and have a look at it right now. Just make sure you don't have too many gaps on your sheet of paper. Try not to have any empty negative portions in your sheets of paper that look very empty, fill it up with something. If you feel like on one side it is a big gap, go ahead and add another sugar cane. You already now know how to go ahead and do so. All right, I think everybody did such a wonderful job in going ahead and doing this drawing. I am so glad that you have gone ahead and done such a wonderful job of this drawing. So again, let me just run through a couple of pointers before we end today's class. First is, I definitely want you to go ahead and make a submission of this drawing, because if you go ahead and make the submission of this drawing, then I will get an idea of the kind of work that you are doing, the kind of learning that you all are going through. So if you are having struggles or issues with something, then I can go ahead and work around it and make the course better for you. All of my upcoming course or whatever courses that we are doing, right, whether it's the next class itself, I can go ahead and help you out a lot more if I get your submissions and I see that you're working a certain way. That's the first thing. Second thing that definitely is very, very important is for each and every one of you to get that certificate. So definitely attend all of the classes, even if the motivation for you is not the certificate and you just want to attend all of the classes. Mainly because if you do go ahead and attend each of the classes, then what will happen is you will learn something new every class. If you haven't learned something new and you already know how to do something, then you're just revising something, and that also is wonderful, right? Because if you revise something, then it's going to kind of get stuck in your brain, and then tomorrow you're not going to have any issues redoing it or trying to understand it. And I feel, according to me, in at this age, you will always learn something new when you sit down to draw or create anything. So just make sure to attend all of your classes, make sure to make all of your submissions. And we now have a certificate program, I already told you, so that's an added motivation for you guys. Plus, the final thing that I mentioned in the end and the earlier as well was about the feedback. You'll go ahead and also get an extra feedback from my end if you are going ahead and being picked as that top 10. So being picked as a top 10 has always been something that I absolutely love seeing. I've been marking a lot of the top 10s, and it's wonderful to see so many submissions and so many children competing to get that top 10. And it takes me a while to pick my top 10. So make me go through that struggle. I really enjoy it. Okay. So now have a look at the submission video and how to go ahead and do it, so that you understand how to do it and you go ahead and do it. Anyway, bye bye. I'll see you in the next class. Before I go, let me also introduce you to what we're going to be doing in the next class. The next class is going to basically be doing a festive drawing of Christmas. And I know all of you absolutely love Christmas. It's like, what a time of the year, right? So if you want to go ahead and do a Christmas drawing with me in the next class, then definitely attend it and make the submission of this class. Bye. Have a look at the submission video. Bye bye.
Hi everyone, we are excited to have you here in today's fun-filled learning session at YOLO. Here is a quick look at how you can submit your work after the class. As a first step, go to live.yolo.com. You can use any browser to access this site. On this page, you will see a list of all our classes. Scroll down and you can see the Submit Your Work button. And then you will see a list of the classes that you've last attended, which could, for example, show the dance or craft or science experiment classes you've attended recently. Next, it will show you the list of children whose names are registered in this mobile number. Choose your name from this list to submit your work. For instance, if you are Satvik Kumar, choose that name. And then choose the class for which you would like to make your submission. For example, if you've attended the New Year's Masquerade Party session and you'd like to make the submission for this class, click on the Submit Your Work button below that. And then upload the photo you've taken. Choose the image from your phone and click Submit. You can scroll down and view all your past submissions and see how many of your friends or peers have liked your work. You can also see others' work and like their work to inspire your friends. If you want to showcase your work on social media, that too is very simple. Click on Share, copy the link and post it on Instagram or Facebook or any other platform of your choice. Just a tiny reminder, your submission looks a lot better if you could click a photo in the landscape mode rather than the portrait mode. Do not forget to tag us at YOLO_app